Welcome to another 12-minute HR lesson with pictures, where we take one of our most popular podcasts and put it to some interesting visuals in the background, just to give you something to look at. This is me going for one of the most gorgeous walks in all of Northland, a walking track between Langs Beach and Waipu Cove. If you've ever done it yourself, you know it's gorgeous. It was a beautiful morning that morning. Have a look. Welcome to your 12-minute HR lesson. I want to stretch you today. I'm calling it a head trip, but maybe it's not. I really want to stretch your brains in two ways. I want you to question the world and the reality as you see it, so that you can see glossy illusions where they pretend to be reality. Interested? Worried it's going to stretch you? See how you go. So let's go. I have a thought experiment for you. Social scientists love a good thought experiment. I'm not going to gather data on you, although I wish I could. What would happen if our civilization suddenly stopped and was rediscovered later? What would they think of us? What would they make of us? What would they deduce about us? If humans came to a screeching stop, if we all disappeared tomorrow, or we all disappeared in a month, in a year, in a short period of time, suddenly humans are pretty much gone with no capacity to preserve in any meaningful way, and then was rediscovered later, what would they make of us? What would they think of us? And there's lots of different variables you can play with. You can say, okay, well, how long and who by? Are we talking hundreds of years, thousands of years, millions of years? What's going to survive? If all the data was lost, what would they make of all the physical things that we've left behind? If they could access all the data, what would they make of everything that's online? You can also get interesting and say, okay, who's discovering us? Are they primates? Are they humans? Are they another evolved species of apes? Are they completely alien? Are they elephants or octopus? There's an argument to say those are the next creatures likely to evolve into high-level sentience. To prompt your brain a little bit, we know a reasonable amount about how the Romans lived. We don't know much about how the Anglo-Saxons lived, even though they were more recent, because we have much less to go on. So what would someone else make of the world that we lived in if they took an imperfect sample, and what's likely to be the sample that they would take? What would they likely get? Is it the physical stuff? And what would they make of it when it's taken out of context? Why do I think about this thought experiment? I think about it every time I go through an airport. Why an airport? Well, every time you land in an airport around the world, you seem to be seeing the same things: chocolates, watches, and perfume. Someone coming into this environment and seeing the same thing everywhere could fairly come to the conclusion that watches, chocolate, and perfume seems to be really, really important. You know that the airport is not a fair reflection of your culture. You know that when you land in your hometown airport and walk through, that's not what's truly important to your city, to your country. That is a poor, poor reflection of the environment that you've landed in. The concept here is that this is a very poor indication of what the real environment is outside. So now I want to talk to you about an interesting concept. This is where I want to talk to you about the concept of simulacrums. The idea is the picture that we are painting is an untrue and perverse reflection, sometimes by intention, sometimes not, of the true reality behind it. It is the illusion that is painted that bears some of the hallmarks of the reality, and it fools us, but it's not true. Where else can you see this? This is not something I'm that familiar with, but to me, Instagram influencers probably fall into this category. People who travel around the world taking pictures of themselves, looking glamorous in glamorous location, hashtag living my best life. Is that their true reality? Most of the time they're tired, they're grumpy, they're hungry. It's not untrue, but this is an imperfect and unfair image of the life that they live. They are selling a story that is fundamentally untrue. Do you want to go further down the rabbit hole on this one? I don't spend a lot of time looking at these people. I haven't directly observed people doing this, other than a time I was in an infinity pool in Malaysia on top of a building where a family seemed to spend most of their time doing TikTok videos rather than actually looking at the view, but that's a different story. Is my perception true, or have I just gathered that from other people, from other sources? Is this primary data, or is this second-hand data? Is the same for you? Do you genuinely know that these people exist and this is what they do and that there's large amounts of them? Or have you just had that picture painted in your mind and you have accepted it verbatim? Have we created a simulacrum about a simulacrum?
Quick interruption for the ad for our company, Pragmatic HRM. Pragmatic HRM brings you these podcasts to help you think about how you do your job. Small ways you can be smarter, wiser, more intentional about what it is that you think you can do in each of these situations. How we can choose to approach things rather than blindly follow what other people have done in these situations. With our HR training, we do this on a larger scale. We take the whole chunks of an HR topic, how we onboard people, how we train people, how we grow talent, how we fire people, and help you figure out what is right for you. We primarily do this through our webinars. You can access our webinars via an online class, or you can watch a cheaper pre-recorded webinar. Have a look at our website, pragmatichrm.nz, to see how we can help you be smarter about what you do.
So I promised you a head trip, so let's go. Let's really start to stitch these weird and interesting ideas together. The idea, what would an external party make of the current world that we live in, comes with it the implicit idea, what would they get wrong? What would they not see? What is the nuance in between if they took an imperfect sample of our current culture and drawing probably erroneous assumptions? The idea that incorrect assumptions and conclusions can be drawn from an imperfect perception of our world, but this could become the truth. This could become what future species or civilizations thinks and knows about us, in the same way that we think and we know about Alexander the Great. But do we? The local tourism board promoting your city is drawing a glossy picture of your city that may be entirely inaccurate or might be pretty close. What do I want you to know from this? I want you to at least be able to see the simulacrums in this world and be able to recognize when we are seeing a simulacrum from when we are seeing probably something close to the truth. Why is this important? Because we don't want to fall for them. But on the other hand, we don't get anywhere if we throw everything out, if we just refuse to accept anything as the potential truth. One area in which we can see this in HR is on LinkedIn, which is ironic. I'm massively biting the hand that feeds me here because a lot of my advertisement and getting myself out there is via LinkedIn. But the reality is I have to spend a lot of time on them, and I'm forever looking at this going, that's a glossy overstatement of reality. That is a hyper-simplistic boiling down of complex realities and difficult truths. What do I want you to do? I want you to be smart, and I want you to be wise, and I want you to be able to judge the difference, see a simulacrum when it is in front of you, Don't misunderstand a heavily distorted reality, a careful catchphrase, a witty slogan for truth. It can give you insight, but it can't give you truth. It can't be the absolute gospel as to what things can or can't be done. So what should you do? Take things with insight, and if you do want to train yourself to be smarter and wiser, think to yourself, that looks true, but when might not it be true? If you think I've been talking in circles and going around and getting over complex and not really putting an idea in your head the way that you want me to, let me put this in your head for you. LinkedIn and any form of social media that talks about HR, that talks about people and culture, is the exact same as influencers posting on TikTok, influencers posting on Instagram. They are presenting to you a picture of onto-itness, togetherness, competence, relaxation, wisdom. They are painting the intellectual equivalent of them looking attractive in an attractive place. What you don't want to do is look at them and go, that doesn't match my life, that doesn't match my reality, I must be doing it wrong. The reality is, it is them that is the illusion, not you. So that's one idea. What's the other? I promised the double-header head trip. What's the other one? The other one is the question that people put to me every so often of, is that too much for your audience? And I get that every so often of people that I know that I run these episodes past to see what they think, and they're critiquing for me. They're asking me tricky questions, and I always say yes. And I say yes because I'm not here to pat you on the back for knowing something. I'm here to stretch you. I'm here to make you think. And my focus and my emphasis on these is not to give people comfort by telling them something that they already know. I talk about in a previous episode giving people victory laps. I'm not here to give you a victory lap. And maybe if you do know it, congratulations. What I'm here to do is stretch you. And stretch you, I have to assume that you're smart people. And I do think that you're smart people. I do think that you can take these complex ideas. If you can't, sometimes that happens. Not everybody gets everything every time. And if you don't, it's probably my fault, not yours. But we're better to try. Both you and I, we're better to go, well, let's not just stick to the simple stuff that we all know. Let's not play it safe. We've got to push the boat out. Muscles don't grow unless you stretch them and tear them a little bit. Otherwise, you're just playing it safe. I'm here to help you. I'm here to help you think about things that you don't know, not giving you pats on the back for knowing something that you already do know. Check us out at pragmatichrm.nz. See what we can do for you. If not a problem. Just share us, repost us, like us. A small price that you can pay is just to let other people know that you liked what we did. That's all we ask. Otherwise, I'll catch you next time. Thanks.